You know how it is. In practice, you're cool, you're clear-headed, and you're just executing. You feel totally in control. Your skills are right there, exactly when you need them. Everything just flows.
But then, it's game day. The stakes are suddenly way higher, the clock is ticking down, and boom, that calm focus is just gone. You can feel anger or fear or just plain frustration start to bubble up, and the entire feeling of the game just changes for you. And this right here, this is the core of it all. You find yourself making choices that feel impulsive, almost like you're not in control. Instead of thoughtfully responding to what's happening in the game, you're just reacting, purely to the emotion of that one moment. Okay, the most important thing to get right away is this. This is not a weakness. It's not a flaw in your character. It's not a lack of discipline. It is a completely normal, biological response that happens in high-pressure situations. And really understanding that, well, that's the first step to managing it.
So, to really get a grip on this, we need to look under the hood at what's actually happening inside your brain. Let's dig into the neuroscience of what pressure really does to us.
So when the pressure's on, 3 things happen almost instantly. First, your brain flips a switch. It goes into survival mode, which means it starts prioritizing safety over that fine-tuned skill you worked so hard on. Second, the time you feel you have to make a decision just shrinks, which leads to faster, less thought-out actions. And third, your emotions get turned way up, and they act like a giant magnet for all your attention.
This whole process, it actually has a name. It's called emotional hijacking. And it's that exact moment when the emotional, super fast part of your brain grabs the steering wheel from the logical thinking part. It's that feeling of, man, I knew exactly what I was supposed to do, I just couldn't stop myself.
This chart really breaks down that internal power struggle. See, your emotional brain, that's the limbic system, it's built for speed and for spotting threats. Under pressure, it just takes over. It becomes dominant. And meanwhile, your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, which handles all the logic and self-control, it gets temporarily pushed to the side. It doesn't disappear, it just loses its influence for a bit. And this is such a key distinction to make. It's not that your anger or your fear is suddenly 10 times stronger than it was before. Nope. It's that your brain is given that emotion a VIP pass. It gets to jump to the front of the line and it gets to act first.
So why does this happen in a big game and not in practice? It's because pressure adds weight to everything. It attaches meaning. A simple mistake isn't just a mistake anymore, is it? Suddenly it's connected to the final score, to what people will think, to your whole identity as a player. That extra meaning is what pours fuel on the emotional fire.
So what do most of us do when this happens? We try to fight it. We tell ourselves to just calm down, which is called emotional suppression. But here's the thing, that almost always backfires. It just creates more tension and eats up your mental energy. The much better approach is emotional regulation. That's where you work with the emotion to reduce its power. It's a real, repeatable skill. And this really shows why regulation is so crucial. When it's left unchecked, each emotion messes with your performance in a very specific way. Anger makes you zoom in on one thing, like the ref or an opponent. Fear can make you hesitate, causing you to play not to lose. And frustration, it just shatters your focus into a million pieces, making it impossible to concentrate on what you need to.
Okay, so we get the problem now, right? Let's move on to the solution. What follows is a practical, 5-step plan that you can use right in the moment to stay in control and functional, even when those strong emotions show up.
So here are the steps. Step 1, name it. Simple as that. Just label the feeling. 2, ground your body. Do one simple physical action. 3, choose a direction. Ask yourself what feeling would actually help you right now. 4, attach that new focus to a specific productive task. And 5, use every single whistle, every break in the action as a chance to hit the reset button. Let's walk through what this looks like in a real moment. Imagine a forward misses a wide open shot. The frustration just spikes. But instead of spiraling, he silently labels it frustration. He takes a long, slow exhale and consciously drops his shoulders to release that physical tension. He gives himself one simple cue, next action. And then, he channels all that frustrated energy into sprinting back and pressing the defense. The emotion didn't just disappear, but his performance stayed right on track.
Look, this isn't magic, it's a skill. And just like any other skill in your sport, it has to be trained. So let's talk about how you can actually build this into your everyday routine. Now, this is so important. The goal is not to become some emotionless robot who never gets angry or nervous. That's not realistic. The real goal is to get better and faster at recovering from those emotions. You're training your bounce-back speed.
So let's just quickly recap the whole framework. We know that under pressure, your emotional brain gets priority. We know that the high stakes add meaning, and that amplifies your reaction. And we know that trying to fight these feelings just makes it worse. The real skill is regulation, to acknowledge the feeling, ground your body, and then redirect that energy.
And that brings us to the final and really the most important question. The next time you feel that spike of frustration or fear in a huge moment, what's your approach going to be? Are you going to try to fight a battle against your own brain? Or are you going to choose to work with that energy and actually use it?
Because in the end, that choice, it isn't about your personality. It is a mental skill. And just like your shot, or your stride, or your swing, it is something you can practice, you can develop, and you can absolutely master.